Hey there everyone, ladies and gentlemen, gentle squids, whatever you want to call yourselves. If there was ever a head-to-head shootout that the world needed, it was this one, the battle of the baby squid missiles, the ultimate cage match to see once and for all which beginner sport bike is the most worthy of rev bombing your apartment complex or embarking on a track day red line death march. We're talking about the Kawasaki Ninja 400 versus the Yamaha R3 versus the KTM RC390. Let's get into it. All right, first up, we have the Kawasaki Ninja 400, a motorcycle that has arguably become the entry point for many ex-high school football players to get into motorcycling. Don't know why that's what I chose to say, but I did. If you search the information on the Ninja 400, you will likely be met with forum postings where people debate the top speed, like the top speed of this bike is 110 miles per hour. And then somebody will respond, actually, the top speed is 130 miles per hour. And then a third person will say, actually, there is no way you can routinely hit 130 miles per hour. That must have been an anomaly, but I do routinely hit 128 miles per hour. So there you go. If these are the conversations you want to be having, then the Ninja 400 is a good bike for you. But in all honesty, there is a reason embryonic squids gravitate towards this bike, and it's not just because it looks as if it was showered in Monster Energy after overheating it at the track. It is because in a lot of ways, it hits every mark for excellence for a beginner sport bike in both power and price. The Ninja 400 is powered by a 399cc parallel twin engine that makes 49 horsepower and 28 foot-pounds of torque. It is a motorcycle that a beginner can be comfortable starting the riding journey on without fearing cause of physical harm by an overdose of heat energy. But once they become familiar with their machine and further hone their riding skills, they can continue to rev this bike all the way out to the 11,000 RPM redline and explore the beginning stages of squidly behavior. The Ninja 400 has pretty friendly ergonomics as well, without involuntarily putting you into too aggressive or too committed of a stance. This bike is comfortable enough for daily ride while allowing you to get into a more aggressive position if you're really trying to push the limits in a school zone. The Ninja 400 is a 31-inch seat height and weighs in at 362 pounds without ABS and 366 pounds with it. And I only mention that because Ninja 400 people would be mad if I didn't say it. As it is a more entry-level motorcycle, the Ninja 400 has pretty standard non-adjustable front forks and a preload adjustable rear monoshock. It has single disc brand brakes in both the front and back, but this bike makes just shy of 50 horsepower and weighs only 360 some pounds. You don't need top spec Brembos for this bike to stop adequately. Regardless of the entry-level components, the Ninja 400 is lightweight and nimble and eager to lean over in a corner. As far as long-term ownership and reliability go, the Ninja 400 is not known for having any real issues. Many people start on a Ninja 400 and even upgrade to a different motorcycle, keep the Ninja in the stable because they're fun to ride. A small displacement sport bike is a great track toy, and the low cost of ownership makes it even less risky to run hard on the track. The Ninja 400 has a way of keeping its owners excited long after their experiences no longer dictate an entry-level machine. Heck, I even bought an endurance-prepped Ninja 400 for track purposes. The pricing varies a bit on the Ninja 400 depending on whether you want ABS or which paint scheme you choose. At its lowest possible MSRP, the Ninja 400 cost $5,299, and at its highest, it cost $5,899. No matter which option you choose, that is a really hard price to beat for a motorcycle you can keep for years.
Have you ever thought about owning a Ducati? Well, make your dreams a reality by getting entered to win this one right here. March 17th is the very last day you have to get entered to win this motorcycle, and time is running out. So I'm doing something special for all my squids out there. Go to shop.yamanoob.co, spend anything you want. You're gonna get 10x entries on your dollar to win this machine. Time is running out. Head over to shop.yamanoob.co and get entered to win this thing because it's gonna show up at somebody's doorstep. Why not make it yours?
The next motorcycle we need to discuss is the Yamaha YZF R3. This motorcycle is quite special to me as it is the bike that this whole channel started on, but I am not the only one who has had a fleeting love affair with the Yamaha R3 over the years. The Yamaha R3 is powered by a 321cc parallel twin engine, and it's just a matter of fact that missing those 78 cubes that can be found in the Ninja 400 leave the R3 feeling a little less enthralling as you become more experienced, despite it revving higher. The parallel twin engine in the R3 is making 42 horsepower and 22 foot-pounds of torque, and because of the smaller displacement of the engine, it takes a bit longer to feel the power come on compared to the Ninja. Not to say the R3 is a bad motorcycle, it's an awesome motorcycle, but for the sake of comparison and plain devil's advocate, it's important to mention the R3's lack of endowment. The R3 also has an approachable stature, a slightly lower seat height than the Ninja at 30.7 inches, and weighs 375 pounds, fully wet and ready to ride. The Yamaha R3 handles like a dream as well. The inverted front fork is arguably a little more rigid than the Ninja 400, which makes it a little more sporty under spirited riding conditions. The bike is incredibly agile and easy to maneuver, making it perfect for new riders or those looking for a bike that is easy to control. The R3's lightweight chassis combined with its nimble handling make it a joy to ride on twisty roads or throughout congested city streets. The bike also has a low seat height which allows shorter riders to easily touch the ground, further increasing its accessibility. The Yamaha R3 is adorned in the classic R-bike styling and is a little bit more committed riding position than the Ninja 400 from the factory. Unlike the Ninja, the R3 also comes with ABS from the factory, so if you want a little bit of extra peace in mind during emergency braking, that is something to take into consideration when considering the added cost ABS demands from Kawasaki. The R3 has been in production since 2015, which may feel like just yesterday, but the R3 is coming up on almost 10 years of production. Wow, that makes me want to die. That being said, like most bikes from Yamaha, there are little to no qualms about reliability, and the long production window and huge dealer network should make parts available and service pretty painless in most parts of the country. There are also ample amounts of aftermarket support for the R3, so you can find exhaust systems, crash protection, tail ties, and any other mandatory modifications a stock beginner sport bike needs. And if you want to run the R3 on track, there are many parts you can purchase and install to make it super suited for track duty. The Yamaha R3 demands an MSRP that is pretty on par with the larger Ninja 400, coming in at $5,499 across all paint schemes and including ABS. And the last motorcycle on our head-to-head beginner sport bike shootout today is the king of all sport bikes. We're saving the best for last, baby. I'm talking about the Suzuki Gixxer 250. Just kidding. I'm talking about the Turbo Busa. Just kidding. I'm talking about the KTM RC390. Seriously now. The RC390 is a really cool platform from KTM I have a lot of first-hand experience with. In recent years, KTM has managed to bring a level of excitement and sophistication to the beginner motorcycle realm that a lot of manufacturers haven't been able to. The KTM RC390 may be the most sporty beginner bike in the category, making use of a lot of sophisticated technology in the frame and suspension. This motorcycle is powered by the lovable 373cc single that makes 44 horsepower and 27 foot-pounds of torque. It is the same power plant you can find in the Duke 390, and anyone who has experience with either bike knows it is a pretty fun, punchy engine. The KTM RC390 is a really value-driven bike in more ways than one. The suspension by WP features compression and rebound adjustment in the front and rebound and preload adjustment in the rear. That's pretty cool for a beginner bike. This motorcycle has some of the best design choices in the class as well. While it is very on brand for KTM, it gives the RC390 an edge and style that most people would never guess comes from a beginner bike. With these design cues in mind, the RC390 has a more committed and race-oriented seating position as well. While some may find this suitable for their purposes, it may create a bit of a learning curve for a rider with very limited experience. Similarly, the KTM does have the tallest seat height of the bunch, coming in at over 32 inches tall. But the clip-on handlebars do have 10 millimeters of adjustability, which can come in handy for the feel of the cockpit. KTM is a European company, so of course they give us dry weights in the motorcycle, which is 342 pounds. So essentially after fluids and fuel, it's probably getting close to the weight of the Ninja 400 and the R3. The KTM has the most tech features of all the beginner sport bikes as well, has switchable 2-channel ABS, traction control, a TFT display, and an optional quick shift from the factory. KTM is really good at jamming in as many comfort features into their motorcycles as possible. The KTM RC390 has an MSRP of $5,899, putting it at the top end of our beginner sport bike spectrum. So where do we fall as a consensus for this head-to-head shootout? At the end of the day, if a beginner rider ended up on any of these bikes, they would be happy. But it could be argued that the Yamaha R3 may be the quickest to be grown out of. While the R3 is making comparable horsepower to both the Ninja 400 and the KTM RC390, it comes on really high in the rev range, so it can feel a little gutless from stoplight to stoplight, where the larger displacement on the latter two motorcycles lend themselves to more instantly gratifying torque off the line. The KTM definitely brings the most to the table in terms of tech features and adjustable suspension, but there's always that little bit of a caveat in regards to reliability and dealer network. These 373cc engines have become pretty solid in their tenure, but in the instance you do need some work done at the dealer, it may not be the most convenient or timely depending on where you live. If you want Japanese reliability, more long-lasting enjoyment, and Kawasaki Cal energy, the Ninja 400 might be the move. If you're fine with the stigma that comes with riding a KTM and want that Euro boy lifestyle, the RC390 could be a good option as well. I have a lot of experience with every one of these bikes, and they're not going to disappoint anyone as a first bike. But a Ninja 400 will probably do the best job at satisfying most beginner sport bike riders in terms of reliability, affordability, and usability. If you're fearful of getting bored on an R3 or fearful of your head gasket failing on a KTM, the Ninja 400 is probably where you should gravitate. thanks for making it to the end of the video. What has your experience been with each of these bikes? Like I said, they're all awesome, but people want scrupulous comparisons, so that is what they shall get. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this in the future. Fact: a human's ability to smell petrichor, the smell of wet earth from rain, is greater than a shark's ability to smell blood in the water. Goodbye.